Have you ever wanted to quit? Like just give up? You're like, I'm not doing this anymore. Whether it's with a job, life in general, a relationship, just anything. You're like, man, I'm just gonna do what I want to do. Forget this. What is the point? Let me tell you, I've been there a couple of times actually. But what I realized is as long as I am still breathing, as long as I still have a mind to think, I have a chance. And I want you to get to that place every time you are doubting yourself, every time you are feeling like quitting and you're feeling like, what's the point? Listen, I want you to remember that as long as you're breathing, as long as you are here, as long as you have a mind to think, man, you can still make progress. You can still move your needle forward. You can still make progress and do what you need to do to live the life that you want to live. Man, just 10 years ago, 2014, from the time I'm making this video, is 2024. Listen, I was at zero, and this is from 18. I was living on my own. I went off to college. I lived on my own. I graduated, lived on my own for 10 years and had to move back in with my mom. At the time, I was divorced from my first husband, had 2 kids, and I was just like, man, I was told, that I disappointed. Someone was disappointed in me, and that really hit me because I'm like, man, I worked so hard to make good grades and be kind and loving and do what I need to do and not hurt anybody in the process, as far as just being crazy. And that really took me to a low place for a bit. To the point, like, I remember being in my mom's bathroom just like praying, like, I can't take it, like, come on, what am I supposed to do? And then I realized, Darnaya, you are supposed to do. You're talking to yourself. And I just made up in my mind, like, I'm going to encourage myself. I'm going to motivate myself. I'm going to do what I need to do to keep rising. And then I ended up marrying my husband, Darice Lamar, and we had experienced ups and downs, and we really pushed ourselves to get to the place we are now. And we got to a point where we said, okay, let's sit down. My husband was like, what do we need to do? What number do we need to get to at least get, secure, somewhat stabilized? What is the minimum right now we need to get to? And at the time we were like, hey, we need 50-50. We cannot make it, we're living down south, so it's not as strenuous. There's some areas that are high costing, and there's some areas that are not. But at the time, we were like, we need to at least get to 50-50. We put in that time, that energy, scaling up. My husband and I, we both already have experience working in nonprofits, building new organizations and programs. We just have so much knowledge base. It's like, hey, we can do it in the corporate world. We can do what we need to do and shift focus. And so that's what we did. We shifted, and we started with, what do we need? So I advise anyone, just giving you practical steps. Affirmations isn't going to do it, affirmations aren't going to do it. Just praying isn't going to do it. You have to get up, get out, and do something. You have to bet on yourself at the end of the day. You have to save yourself. Do you understand that? Any situation you're ever in, even if you're well off, if you're already in middle class, wherever you are in life, at some point, you're going to go through something that kind of wears you down, where you have to shift your focus, whatever it is. But understand, always bet on yourself if you know yourself. And if you know, I can't bet on myself right now, girl, I need help, that means build your discipline. Build your muscles. Build those small habits that lead you to productive change, that lead you to somewhere where you want to be. If it's financial, if it's money, hey, I need a better job. Am I in a career now, or am I just on a regular job that just get me by? If you haven't gotten a career you love, do what you need to do. Skill up. There are plenty free platforms where you can get education from top universities, take courses, get certificates, so forth and so forth. There's no excuse now. There are no excuses. And I know we have things that are out of our control. I've been through it. My husband been through it. We've been through it together. But guess what? We still bet on ourselves to this day. We betted on ourselves back then, and we do to this day. We get the work done. And what we had to do, it took time. We had to level up slowly, but we got there within just a decade. Listen, you already know, there's 60 seconds in a minute. There's 60 minutes in an hour. There's 24 hours in a day. There's 365 to 366 days in a year, depending if it's an extra day or not, if it's a leap year, how we calculate it over here, right? What am I saying? Time goes on. There's still time. You can, after you watch this video, after you like, subscribe, share, comment, let me know your journey. Let me know, have you ever wanted to quit? And what, if you're out of that phase, how did you get out? What steps did you take? Because listen, we're in that day and age where people want practical steps. Don't just give me, I'm going to pray for you. I'm going to think about it. I'm going to put your name in the prayer basket and tell the pastor. No, people need practical steps to how do I move from point A to point B. And what I'm telling you, what worked for my husband and I, we first said, what do we need? We have children. We have 4 teenagers now. They are great. They're awesome. They make great grades. They're intelligent. They're athletic. They're creatives. We have 2 in 11th grade that's going to college because we have children that are advanced, ahead of their age, you know. But how did we get there? We decided we want to take control of our children's education, number one. I always wanted, funny thing, both my husband and I were initially education majors, and we both switched our major because we saw how silly and foolish that process is, and we didn't like the change that we actually want to make. We wouldn't be able to make necessarily going that route. But we decided to take education in our children's hands. We homeschooled for a while. We with our oldest, we did 2 grades. She did 2 grades at a time, and now she's ahead. She's only 14 in 11th grade. We got another, our oldest son, who's 16. He's 17. He just turned 17, who's also in 11th grade, about to graduate. They have high GPAs. We decided take control every aspect of our life. We're just not going to sit here and let life pass. And that also, we had to do that in our work life too. We said, okay, this isn't working. Let's build our career, because we can make an impact. We can continue to change anywhere we are. And so we said, write your number down. We have an organization called WYND, W-Y-N-D, write your number down. And we did. We said 50-50. And listen, we exceeded that goal. In a short amount of time. And what's really crazy about that is because we said, okay, let's add skills. My husband's project management certificate, he added skills. He taught himself how to code and program. You know, I went on and added what I need to add in talent acquisition, human resources, things I already have experience in different industries. But, you know, we were just able to build, and we trusted ourselves. But it does take time. It takes work. According to Indeed, if you're going to put in an application or try to start the interviewing process and try to get a new job, it can take anywhere from 20.6 weeks, like one month to 5 months. TopResume.com suggests 5 to 6 months, and some people is more than that, and some people is less than that. But the point is, it does take, for every 100 resumes or applications you put in, you may get one to respond, and it's not guaranteed that one will hire you for the position you want. But you have to aim higher, go for it. Because you're going to find not too many will go for those higher positions or the next level. And so you want to go for it. I did. And, it's been working out for me. Both my husband and I are autodidacts. We learn quickly. We learn fast. I bet on myself. I say I can do all things. Normally we say through Christ that strengthens me, but I say through Darnaya that strengthens me, because I sure doggone strengthen myself and build myself up along with my family. So I want you, write your number down if you haven't already. And if you already doing well, okay, what's that next step? What's that next level for you? What does that next level look like to where you can solidify your legacy? You can leave something behind for your children if you have children, spouses if you have spouses, whoever. If it's just you, what life do you want to live? Let's stop getting by and understand that you don't have to give up. You have expertise. You may have some skills that someone else needs. Your story, whatever it is, however you're going to get it done, get it done. All right. And just consider some other factors when you're looking for that next jump or that next step. Consider the opportunities available. That's the job market, economic conditions. Consider the time of year you're applying. Consider your skill level, as I mentioned before, the location, the industry. What are the expectations? How long have you been unemployed? And a good tip here on your resume, you kind of want to fill in those gaps. Don't just leave a big gap there for being unemployed. You were doing something. You were learning something. You had something crafted to your advantage. Do you understand? Crafted to your advantage. And so I want to encourage you. I'm doing this new series, Have You Ever? And notice I don't have an intro. I don't have an outro, because I wanted to jump right in with these series. I wanted to get to the point so you can get started. You can get pushing. You can start the steps you need and just start rising. Start believing in yourself. Don't quit. I'm not going to let anybody let me feel bad anymore. I'm not going to, you disappointed me. Oh, well. All right. Because I'm still breathing. There's still time for me to be great. There's still time for me to get to my best, to get to my better, wherever I'm at. So I'm not going to get discouraged, and neither should you. Now, listen, if you like this first episode of Have You Ever, let me know in the comments. Number one, have you ever wanted to quit? Number two, since you're here, you commented, you liked it, you watched it. Let me know what keeps you going, what kept you going, what steps are you planning to make? Do you know what you need and how to get there? Let me know. Like, comment, share, subscribe if you haven't already. Here at my channel, you may see a little bit of everything, honestly, mini vlogs, motivation, inspiration, but I just don't want to motivate you. I also want to give you practical steps, just a little insight, just from my personal experience of how to keep yourself going, how to get to the next level, how to master being, whether it's wife, mother, children, whatever it is. I'm all the things. Sister, whatever it is, and be your best self. All right. So until next time, always remember to keep rising.